What's going on, guys? Coach Chrispect here from Amazon Selling Hustle. And in this video, we are going to go over this tool I created. It's called the Risk Calculator. And the Risk Calculator I designed for myself originally to help me kind of assess products as I would go through them, create a list of products, and then with the criteria I knew and with the benchmarks I knew and the standards I kind of wanted to stick around, I created a list of standards for myself that would help me eliminate products along the way that didn't meet the criteria. This link to this risk calculator is going to be in the resources down below. If you want to use it, just jump onto that link, copy it, paste it onto your own Google Docs, and use it away. You can change up the criteria to match your own, but they're really just questions that you would ask yourself every time you go through the process so that you're not taking a huge risk at the end of it. If it meets or exceeds all these questions, then you should be good to go on the launch for the product. So I'll go through each of these, and then in the next video, we'll put this risk calculator to action along with the benchmarks that we talked about in the prior video, and we'll look at a few examples and see how it matches these particular standards when you're doing product research. So the first thing is keyword combinations. You want to figure out 3 or 4 or more. Some people can figure out 5 combinations for their product's keywords. For example, I use all the time is exercise balls. Some people call it stability ball. Some people call it Swiss ball. Some people call it a sit-up ball. Some people will say by size, and then it becomes not as broad. So you want to pick broad keywords for a product so that when you can reach it, you're researching multiple broad keywords. Again, the number one goal every time you launch a product is to get and rank in the number 1 spot on page 1. And if you can't rank in number 1, you want to try to rank in number 2 or number 3 or number 4, etc. That's number 1 goal. And so knowing your keywords, you want to then rank for the number 1 goal of whatever somebody's going to think about when they're launching a product. So if I'm going to buy a Swiss ball, I may call it a stability ball, and I may go on Amazon and search stability ball, and I'll get a list of stability balls that will come up. Somebody else might search exercise ball and get a different list. So if you're not ranking on page 1 for the word exercise ball, but you're only ranking on page 1 for stability ball, and you're not ranking on page 1 for Swiss ball, you're likely only going to get 33% of the potential sales available to you. So that's why your goal is to rank for multiple keywords, 3, 4, 5, or every one you can come up with at the end of the day for the product that you're going to launch. So next, you'll want to put those keywords in here, separate them with a comma, just so you have a list of the various keywords. And then average sales, you'll want to look at that using a tool. We'll talk about that in the next video. You'll want to take a look at the average price and get a sense of how much the product sells for. Again, my kind of benchmark is products between $22 and $50 is where I like to be. You may like to start lower. Maybe you're at $18. But remember, the lower you go, the less profit you're going to make, because my initial goal was $10 profit per sale. So I had to make 10 sales a day in order to meet my goal of $100 per day in profit. Okay. Is the product brand dominated? Meaning when you do a search for a product, is there one product that gets one guy? Let's say you're searching for shoes, and Nike shoes come up. Are all the sales going to Nike and nothing to the other guys? That's brand domination. Sometimes brand domination is one brand will have multiple listings in the top page. So if I go to exercise ball and I see DynaPro, and then I keep going, do I see DynaPro or Live Infinity or Phaetop? Oh, sorry, let me explain one thing. These top 3 here are sponsored listings, so they paid to be there. So I'm not going to really worry about those guys. I want to look at organic listings. The organic is where you want to rank. Organically, you got there, you'll stay there. You don't have to pay an advertising fee to be there. You're there because you're making sales. So organic ranking is what we want to look at. So these ones here, without the word that said sponsored, these ones here are organic. So Trideer, ProMic, Infinity. Okay, then the next ones are Dynapro, Unifam, Black Mountain, Ferdun, Urban Fit, and Master of Muscle. So all these private labels, a couple more sponsored. Atherin, Lazy Monk, Go Active Lifestyles, Go Active Lifestyles. And so this product here, and I could keep going, I don't see much brand domination. I see different brand names as I go down the list. So, there would be no worry there. Whereas you may go into another product category, and of the top, say, 10 listings, 3 or 4 of them are the same brand. You would want to stay away from a brand like that, and that's considered brand domination. Page one sales volume. Is there demand? Again, we'll look at a tool that will show us total demand of a product and how much sales each individual seller are making. Also, reviews equal competition, so the same thing applies. We'll be able to analyze the top pages listings and see how much sales, but also see how much reviews each and every one have. Um, is there too many reviews that you can't get in there? So if your criteria setting is like, I want to see products that have less than 100 reviews or less than 50 reviews on page one, then you go look and all the reviews on page one and the top 10 listings are 100 or above. That's an overly competitive listing. There's no way that you're going to successfully rank on page one. And again, that's the goal. Then we'll look at possible restrictions. Is the category that I'm looking at, is it gated or restricted? Are there any restrictions that would allow me to not be able to sell in there? You'll want to quickly check on the restrictions for that before you launch. Is the product patented? You can go to Google or patents.google.com to check if the product is patented. Limitations, is the product seasonal? Again, that's something that you'll decide. Maybe it's a 6 month a year product, so you buy 6 months of inventory, or you calculate, you buy a certain amount of inventory and you just stop buying at a certain point in time, and then you relaunch again when the season is coming to near. Or is the product 12 months of the year calendar? That's what you'll want to look at. And then for weight, I put 1.5 pounds. Some people don't care if it's 2, some people don't care if it's 3. Again, the lighter for me, the better, because I like products that can be packed in a box from China, shipped out in mass, and I like to save on that shipping and handling. And then at the end, I kind of just give it a baseball term: base hit being good, home run being great, and then grand slam being like awesome, like amazing, the best, and then a strikeout being like no good. So I use this calculator to keep track of all the products that I'm looking at, and then afterwards I will go on here and populate the answers and then give it a rating. And I like to keep a master list for like when I started, I kept research of every product I ever looked at. Today that list is well over 600 or 700 products and whittled down. I think I have 40 products that are ready to go. I can launch them at any time. It's called my master list, and so it saves me time on product research. All I have to do is quickly run the numbers on them when I'm ready to launch again, and I launch it. I don't even have to study. I don't have to spend much more time. So that's a great way. Again, you keep a list from today, from when you take the course, and ongoing. Every time you do product research, you just keep adding to that list. Then you make a secondary list of products that are home runs. Then you make a secondary list of products that are grand slams. You may have 5 grand slams, 10 home runs, and like 20 base hits. And you may want to pick off all the grand slams, and that's how you'll be able to generate that big money back and that big revenue back. All right, guys, in the next video, I'll show you a tool that I use to help me find products that have high demand and low competition uh, when I'm doing my product research. I'll see you guys in the next video.